7 ongoing and upcoming mega oil and gas projects in Africa. When compared to a few years ago, Africa's oil and gas landscape has changed dramatically. The continent's significant resources, combined with a relatively low-price environment, have made it a prime region for investment from both domestic and international sources. A wealth of potential has emerged as African governments open up development opportunities and businesses invest heavily in new areas. We took a closer look at 7 of the largest oil and gas projects currently under construction across Africa in 2021. Well, before we continue, while hoping you will enjoy our amazing packages and new discoveries, give us a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and also turn on your notifications for more incredible videos. Join us today on a swift adventure and take a good look at the 7 ongoing and upcoming mega oil and gas projects in Africa. 7. Dangote Refinery and Polypropylene Plant. Location: Nigeria. Cost: $11 billion. Nigeria's largest industrial conglomerate, the Dangote Group, is constructing a major downstream facility in the country's Lekki Free Trade Zone. The oil refinery will produce 153,000 barrels of gasoline per day, 104,000 barrels of diesel per day, 73,000 barrels of jet fuel per day, 4,109 barrels of LPG per day, and 12,300 barrels of fuel oil per day, at a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. It will be able to process a variety of crude oil grades, including shale oil. The refinery is currently under construction, with the petrochemical unit 60% complete, and the refinery estimated to be 75% complete. The completed refinery will include a crude distillation unit, CDU, a single-train residual fluid catalytic cracking, FCC, unit, diesel hydrotreating, a continuous catalyst regeneration unit, an alkylation unit, a polypropylene unit, utilities and off-sites, including a captive power plant and infrastructure for a single-point mooring terminal for crude oil and product handling. The first batch will be manufactured in early 2021, with full capacity expected by the middle of the year. 6. Namibia Refinery Complex. Location: Angola. Cost: $12 billion. In 2017, a joint venture formed by 2 Russian companies, 75% owned by Real Standard Service and 25% owned by Fortland Consulting Company, and local partners proposed building a new 400,000 barrel per day refinery in Namibia, Angola. The complex will be built in stages, with the first phase consisting of a refinery and rail link, as well as integrated infrastructure, and the second phase consisting of the construction and management of a residential area and power plant. The first phase will consist of producing 28,000 barrels of refined oil every 3.5 years, and the final phase will consist of producing 364,000 barrels per day every 11 years. The Angolan president approved a joint venture the same year, with the government committing to purchasing 364,000 barrels per day of petrol and other fuels as production increases over an 11-year period. In July 2017, the project partners laid the first stone. The project is scheduled to begin in 2028. 5. Edan and Zabazaba oil fields. Location: offshore Nigeria. Cost: $13.5 billion. The Edan and Zabazaba fields are located in the deepwater OPL 245 block off the coast of Nigeria in the Gulf of Guinea. The fields contain up to 500 million barrels of oil equivalent in water depths of 1,200 meters to 2,400 meters, with additional exploration upside to be investigated in future years. The Edan field was the first to be discovered, with the Etin 1X discovery well drilling to a total depth of 4,575 meters in 1,720 meters of water and logging 120 meters of hydrocarbon-bearing sands in 2005. Zabazaba was discovered 40 kilometers from Etin, on the other side of a subsea canyon, in 2007. Eni and Shell have launched a joint integrated development project with plans to use the Zaba FSO to tap both fields in a phased development. The FSO will be spread-moored and have a daily capacity of 120,000 barrels. 4. Mozambique LNG Project. Location: Mozambique. Cost: $15 billion. Mozambique LNG, like the Rovuma project, is a massive undertaking that will shape the country's economic future and create thousands of jobs over time. Total, Mitsui & Co., Onc. N., Bharat Petro Resources, PTTEP, and Oil India Limited are part of the consortium. The Mamba Complex and Coral FLNG are also expected to supply natural gas to the plant. A final investment decision was made in June 2019, and the project is expected to be completed by 2024. The initial stages of construction, operation, and maintenance are expected to generate 15,000 jobs. 3. Ajadigban Gas Revolution Industrial Park, GRIP. Location: Nigeria. Cost: $20 billion. The Gas Revolution Industrial Park, GRIP, is a downstream refinery and petrochemical complex planned for Ajadigban in Nigeria's Delta region. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, will fully own the complex, which will include a number of new chemical plants that will use Nigeria's abundant natural gas as a feedstock. The nearby Odidi, Akan, and Forcados fields, all within a 50-kilometer radius, contain 18 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves. ELPS, Nigeria's most dominant gas pipeline network, will supply additional gas. The GRIP has been designated a tax-free zone as a government-owned project to allow for faster planning and access to a wider range of resources. 2. Rovuma LNG Liquefaction Plant. Location: Mozambique. Cost: $22.4 billion. The Rovuma LNG project in Mozambique is one of our top 10 oil and gas projects to watch in 2020, and Furcroft is currently recruiting engineering professionals for the project. ExxonMobil is operating Africa's largest private project, which is part of a series of major projects that will transform the country's natural gas industry over the next 5 years. The Rovuma LNG facility will cost $500 million to build the first 2 liquefaction trains and associated onshore facilities, with additional construction to follow. Each train is expected to produce 8.2 million tons of LNG per year, with the facility expected to be operational for at least 30 years. The project's final investment decision is expected later this year, with production set to begin in 2025. 1. Tanzania LNG Liquefaction Plant. Cost: $30 billion. Since the country's first gas discovery in 2010, the Tanzania Liquefied Natural Gas Project, TLNGP, also known as the Likingo-Makinga Liquefied Natural Gas Project, LMLNGP, has been in operation. Tanzania's proven natural gas reserves are estimated to be 57 trillion cubic feet. ExxonMobil, Ophir Energy, and Pavilion Energy remain committed to its development. The government announced plans to begin construction in 2022, with the facility opening in 2028 in May of last year. Without a doubt, these are natural resources that contribute to the growth and development of most African countries. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up by hitting our like button, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for more educational videos. Thank you for watching.